NFL Week 3 all game picks. We got a couple of great games. Detroit, Baltimore, Rams at the Eagles. Let's start off with a game we think is the best, the Lions at the Ravens. This one could be too close to call. We got dominant offense, dominant defense on both sides. We look at the Lions. They put on an impressive victory over the Bears in Week 2. Ravens started out slow, but then put a whooping on the Browns, as you might have expected. Of course, that game one, tough loss to the Bills. We still think they are the best team in the AFC, arguably in the NFL. Sorry, Bills fans, despite the victory. We look at this one and we think that with Henry being able to run it, we think that Goff might have a off game compared to what he did in Week 2. Much better at home than on the road. You're going to be looking at an outdoor situation. So we think in this case, the Ravens have the advantage. We'd like them here in a close one, 31-27 over the Lions. And now let's take a look at our Week 2 record. We ended up at 11-6-1 for the week. The push was on the 49er Saints game. We had the Saints +5. And our bad pick of the week had to be the Chargers at the Raiders. The divisional matchup, the Chargers just significantly better. We thought the Raiders, the home opener, thought Geno Smith would play really well indoors. He did not at all. In fact, we realized how risky a lot of his throws were. First throw was an interception. Plus, for home field, if you have a division rival, home field advantage is not as significant because you have to consider the fact they play there every year, not as intimidated. Our best pick of the week had to be the Bengals and the Jags. We had predicted 31-28. Final score was 31-27, so we liked that. We actually took the over on that one. Of course, we could have foreseen Burrow getting hurt and being out. We liked the over, and we liked the Bengals to cover, and they did. To like and subscribe if you found this video useful. And next up, we have an AFC West divisional matchup. Two teams that are the leading candidates, we think, to win that division with the Chiefs' recent struggles, the Broncos at the Chargers. Broncos' tough luck loss at Indianapolis really outplayed the Colts, missed field goal late by Will Lutz, and then thought they had the Colts stopped with a missed field goal only for the Colts to get a second chance, winning it after a 15-yard penalty. Very questionable in our opinion. Fortunately, we didn't bet on that game. But anyway, we look at this matchup. We think just because of a home field, we like the Chargers to beat the Broncos here 24-21 at home. Now for our deep dive look at the Rams at the Eagles matchup, we think this is the second best matchup of the weekend. We think it might even be better than the Lions-Ravens game, although that one might be more explosive. This might be more competitive. We think the Rams match up really well with the Eagles with their pass offense. We love the addition of Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. Matthew Stafford still playing like he's 31 years old. I think that's a matchup advantage, especially considering the Eagles and what they've lost in that secondary. Players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We think this is an upset opportunity. We like the Rams with the upset 3.5-point underdogs. We like them 24-21. Texans at the Jags, AFC South divisional matchup. We know this matchup fairly well. We've gone to two games there at Duval, and the Texans have fared quite well. We think they've won both of those games. We are Texans fans, a little bit biased. Great crowd, great environment. But what the Jaguars have, we thought they were going to be a little bit improved this year. We saw from Trevor Lawrence yesterday, it was very troubling, just seeming to defy his coach. And then again, losing the game late when you can make the case that they had outplayed the Bengals. The Texans haven't been great either. C.J. Stroud continues to be inconsistent. But again, look at the history of this matchup. We like the Texans here, 27-17 on the road at Duval. Falcons at the Panthers. Looking at this one, there are a couple of technical setups here that benefit the Panthers. The matchup does not. The technical setups would be back-to-back road games for the Falcons coming off a Sunday night game, and then the Falcons won, Panthers lost. We call that a double technical. Panthers didn't necessarily lose in an unlucky fashion, however. They were outplayed by the Cardinals, came back late, and the Falcons won in a dominant fashion. So that double technical rule, we're not going to cite that because that really applies more to unlucky losses, lucky wins, potentially overachieving, underachieving. We look at Bryce Young again. We're just not sold. We look at the two quarterbacks here. We think Michael Penix is just significantly better than Bryce Young. And the supporting cast is way better for the Falcons than the Panthers. So we like the Falcons here 24-17, even on the road at Charlotte. Cowboys at the Bears, and we just mentioned that technical rule setup that we talk about. We look for a team coming off a questionable win, and then a team coming off an unlucky loss. The Bears definitely not an unlucky loss. They were destroyed at Detroit. That kind of plays to form with how Detroit plays at home. The Cowboys, of course, that really lucky win, beating the Giants in overtime. We watched the game. We really think the Giants outplayed them. So look for potential letdown for the Cowboys on that one. And we don't think the Bears are an 0-3 team. They're not, in our opinion, a playoff team quite yet. We think they're going to win a close one to avoid going 0-3, beating the Cowboys 21-17. Jets at the Bucks. We're recording this before the Bucks play on Monday night. So we're very disappointed in what the Jets put out against the Bills. We thought divisional matchup. I think a lot of people had taken the Jets plus the points on that one. Just didn't show up, and of course now Justin Fields is hurt. The Bucs offense completely explosive. The Jets defense is pretty good, but can they slow down a potential three receiver option? We don't think so. We like the Bucs here rather easily over the Jets, 24-10 at home. Chiefs at the Giants. Last season, we didn't feel like the Chiefs were a legitimate 15-game winner. We definitely don't feel like they deserve to be 0-2, going to 0-3. But there's clearly something missing. We think this is a get-right game against the Giants, but this is risky. We think that they're going to win this one narrowly, 24-23. Look for the Giants on the dog cover, 6.5 to 7 points if you can get that number. We think the Giants will play this one really close. It's only 2 games in, but at this point, we'd have to say the Packers are playing like the most complete team in the league. 2 victories they put out, beating the Lions convincingly, and then the Commanders rather easily as well, 27-18, not dominant. And then the Browns, of course, on defense, very impressive. They were able to slow down the Bengals quite a bit, not so much with the Ravens. Then they continue to have questions on offense. So we think this game should be rather one-sided, probably be a lower scoring game. The Browns might be able to corral Jordan Love a little bit. We still think the Packers put up their points. We like them winning here 27-17 over the Browns. Cardinals at the 49ers, 2 very unlikely 2-0 teams at this point of the season. Partial benefit playing the Saints early. Team is clearly struggling in rebuilding mode. The Cardinals with an unconvincing win with the Panthers yesterday. Had a big lead, let the Panthers kind of crawl back in it. Had a great opportunity to win it late. The 49ers winning with an injury-depleted roster at New Orleans impressive. But we think the difference here is going to be the defense. I think Nick Bosa, players like that, we know they're going to be missing Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and all that. We think Mac Jones should be able to do just enough to keep this one close, and we think the 49ers will ultimately win it 24-21 over the visiting Cardinals. And we go to the AFC South to see a divisional matchup between the Colts and the Titans. We look at these two teams. Titans have definitely shown some improvement. We like what we've seen from Cam Ward so far. Obviously, still making some rookie mistakes, but you would expect that. Really surprised with what the Colts have put out. Daniel Jones is a career resurgence. Of course, players like Jonathan Taylor. I think this one's going to flip. We think the Colts, after 2 straight home games, might have overachieved a little bit. I think the Titans are going to come back, prevent themselves from going 0-3 to start the season, take a close victory here, 21-17 over the Colts. Raiders at the Commanders, Super Bowl rematch, if not for the stupid name change. We look at the Commanders here. We think that defense is going to bounce back. It was a tough showing against the Packers, but that's the Packers, probably the best team in the NFC, right there with the Eagles. We think they bounce back 28-20 over the Raiders. Geno tends to struggle outdoors. Saints to Seahawks. Saints, of course, starting out 0-2. We expect that to be a rebuilding year. Seahawks are surprisingly good. We thought Clint Kubiak might get that offense going. We think they should be 2-0, if not for this fumble against the 49ers late as they were driving to take the lead. We think they're going to continue to play well. We like them, especially at home, 24-14 over the Saints, who, of course, are rebuilding, as we said. Steelers at the Patriots, longtime AFC rivalry. Where is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense? Giving up all those points to the Jets, all those points to the Seahawks, not known for an explosive offense. Then you've got on the other side, you have Drake May putting up tons of points against the Dolphins. Dolphins are a problem. We think the Steelers bounce back here 27-20, but if they don't play well here, this season could be really in doubt. Bengals at the Vikings. A lot of questions with the Bengals. Starting out 2-0, winning. You could make the case winning ugly, but a win is a win. And the Vikings, very disappointing outing against the Falcons. Heavily favored in that game at home. Not sure what happened with J.J. McCarthy from the Bears game to the Falcons game. Has that Falcon defense improved all that much? We need to go back and look at the tape. But Burrow, again, another injury, could be out 3 months. It's impactful. Jake Browning is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. In fact, he was voted the best a few years ago. I think it might have been last year. But are they going to be good enough on the road at Minnesota? Despite the Falcons game, that's one of the best home field advantages in all football. We like the Vikes here, 24-17 over the Bengals.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.